would be very funny, but no. No, it was a bit. It wasn't like directly where you punched in. Like it was a bit off. Like you punched off to the right of it. So you probably felt it when you're like wiggling your hands, like trying to pull stuff out and stuff like that. But you didn't punch into it. You would have felt it.
Is there the remains of a skull inside the helmet?
No, just the helmet itself.
Okay, what do you make of this?
Where the hell? How'd you know that was there?
I don't think he did.
I just knew it needed to punch through the wall. That is all.
That's your first reaction?
Abigail's like rubbing the side of her head, like on the temple. Just like, what?
Would
I
you
mean, it
know
works,
that
I guess.
Tried to enslave it?
Oh, what?
I think what he's trying to say is magic people could just see if it's magic.
Oh, okay. I suppose I can do that.
I love the martial comebacks. It's great. So,
May I see if it's magical?
do you have identify?
Oh, fuck, I don't.
I know you don't. Haha, it's a great question. I know only Abigail had 2 sessions
I
ago.
forgot.
Nonetheless, though, like when you hold it in your hand, you can tell there's no magical. So like, there's not even any point casting identity. There's no ambient energy into it, unless there's an enchantment on it and some signature on it to specifically hide that it has magical energy. But at this point, we're just going to the double bluff, triple bluff, quadruple bluff territory.
Why would you do that on a dented up helmet? I feel like the fact that it's a massive dent in it kind of tells you it's probably not magic by the fact that it was heavily damaged.
Magic things can be damaged. It just takes the force of another magical thing. It's like magic crystal versus normal dagger. Magic crystal will win out. Now, if I got 100 normal daggers, I could probably chisel the thing, but yeah, that's a different story. So yeah, it's normal helmet. Yeah, the dented plate helmet. Punctured, I guess is the better term. Punctured plate helmet. Dented makes it sound like there's not like a big hole in it. There is. Like it's gone through the metal, like a tank shell going through armor. But it doesn't go all the way through. It's not a double. It's not an entry and exit puncture, at least.
Alright, well, we found the helmet behind a wall.
You got mystery for the ages.
He just lets out a heavy sigh. Gosh, if Aldrich was here, he would have already figured this out. Y'all are kind of slow.
Well, maybe you should go pull about the feckin' river he fell in then, eh?
Varric just like looks down the exit hallway.
Well, if I'm going to be honest, I figured it was better to go with you in case you died. I assume they will be fine, but you look like you would die quickly.
I mean,
Okay.
Abigail looks at Varric and the ricochet wound he has. Might be fair in that. Varric just gestures to her at like the remaining potions he has. He only has like 7 left.
I suppose this could be like a crypt, possibly.
Well, you think someone would be buried with a training range?
Perhaps. Maybe on the
There
other
wasn't-
side.
Was there any... It was just this hit the... Oh my god, I can't talk. There wasn't any, like...
Drink some more
bones in
alcohol.
there, was there?
It'll help you.
That's it, yeah.
steal your nerves.
I just need to top it up, yeah.
No, you didn't say any bones or anything like that in here.
That's kind of weird. Maybe we'll find the rest of the suit if we start it. Oh my... If we start
Why
knocking
is
down
he
the rest of the
okay?
walls. I'm okay, I just can't
okay?
talk.
Do you need more healing?
Possibly hit to the head as well might help me. Blow to the
Varric
head.
comes over with the side of his rifle.
I was being sarcastic, please no.
Because of maintenance. Yeah.
I mean,
No
I
bones.
could try punching through the ground and see if there's something there.
Punch it through every wall. It's
I
up to
think
you
at this
guys.
point we're
like,
probably wasting time.
it's up to you guys.
Yeah. What if it sets off a chain reaction with the entire floor falls?
Then you land. Easy.
Alright, then punch a hole in the fucking ground. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah, sure. Okay, let's go.
Roll me an attack against the floor. And that 20, how
Oh
excellent.
for God's sake.
You punch the floor very well. You make an indentation similar to that of you guys entering into the place, like the marks you guys saw on the way in. But there's no hidden room underneath you guys. The ground doesn't collapse under you and drop you into another room like Dark Souls style. No. It's just an indentation in the floor now.
Well, that's sort of anticlimactic.
Congratulations, you punched a hole in the ground.
Abigail's like staring at the helmet.
Does it have any like markings on it, like of like a house
Does.
or anything?
No, not even a house. Varric note, like there's a very distinct style to provincial nobility. Because it's always in the shape of a crest. That's how you identify it's a noble. It has. This doesn't have any crests on it. It does have iconography on it, but no crests.
Does it have any words?
Nope.
Okay.
Shall you guys press on or stay in the room?
I mean, I'm all for pressing on, to be honest, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. You guys reassemble, tucking the helmet into the bag of holding, we'll say. And then a hole opens. That's funny though. Be so easy. No, Vinny has died. It's fine. Now I'm just gonna draw the next section of the map. Curves. That's way too steep a curve. Grab a beer on the way. Yeah, might as well. Quarantine's a time for.
Yeah.
And you guys might as well roleplay your characters.
Oh, definitely.
You guys still have those fucking flasks.
And I mean, I can barely talk right now anyway, so that's like a
So
great
if you
start.
want to go get them to steal your nerves, go ahead. There we go. Nice. Nice. So I have a link. Send. I'm not going to push enter on it yet. But just to give you guys the imagery, it's ready to get sent. Whenever, you know,
I look
convol. It's not a room; it's a hallway. But we'll get to that when Rebecca gets back. I'm just readying up the scene here.
Okay, well, while that's happening, taking one more look around the room before we leave, is there anything else I noticed? Just the paper targets, the now hole in the two.
The empty racks, the armor stands, the room perception. Double 11.
You have
No,
11
nothing
11
else.
vision. You should really get glasses.
Like, the only thing that stands out to you, Marshall, are like the scratchings of like blades and stuff like that. Like, you know, like the sort of thin lines of like a blade cutting into the ground and stuff like that. In the place where the target range is. So like on that you've been to a shooting range. I know you have like that open space leading up to the target, you notice that there are cut marks in that spot. But other than that, that's about it. But you know, to be fair, like bullets have now flown into the space. You've punched into the ground.
True.
There's a lot of stuff that left their mark in a literal manner in this room. So whether or not that's like was here prior or it's something you guys caused or somewhere in between of like original room, this room coming down here because obviously it's natural. You guys getting here, you don't know when it falls. Stuff like that.
Do they look like they're on like a projection?
Projection like a projectile or a projection as in like
Yeah, like it was projected towards that way and left those scraps. Like maybe something big and metal was.
I would say not in a projectile sense, but something was like moving it, yes. Like again, like a blade or something of the sort.
It had locomotion?
It had locomotion. Yeah, use that.
Did I hear that? Probably trains. Something along that.
Also, I'm just gonna draw the Noxalis path.
Sure, go wild, my dude.
I'm just gonna do a lot of
Noxalis path doesn't help us, we're drowning.
You guys can hold your breath for like 10 minutes or something.
It's like, yeah, no, actually, it's really high, isn't it? It's like a minute.
I know
for every
Audra can hold it for
Garth-Mod.
6.
I think Shadowmere is 4.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's a immense rushing water, so you guys aren't even in it. You guys probably take like dent and cut damage and stuff like that. That's bad. Also, my stomach is acting up again, so
go crazy.
I might go in a sec. But what's up?
No, this is kind of unrelated. If you're in like a rushing water situation, is it better to try and hold your breath? Because like,
if, what, breathe in the water?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you like jump out or if you like pop out of the water real fast, would it be better to just hold your breath instead of taking the risk of taking a breath and getting drowned? Okay.
Get a breath.
Okay.
Are you talking about like a riptide?
No, it's not like rapids.
Like tier 3 or 4 whitewater rapids kind of bullshit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's times when you just don't know when you're popping up and popping back down.
Try to get angularly, swim with the current angularly toward the shore.
Gotcha.
But I'm assuming then like it'd probably be better to hold your breath until you stabilize and then start breathing.
It depends. So the need to breathe, unless you're a person with COPD, isn't to get oxygen, it's to get rid of carbon dioxide.
Okay.
So the I need to breathe isn't because I'm out of oxygen, it's because I have too much carbon dioxide.
Okay, so but if you can manage that until you get to shore, then
yeah, you can breathe out underwater. So once you,
which is why you feel relief when you are holding your breath.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. Oh, interesting. So you basically have 2 breaths.
Sort of, yeah, because the tissues.
2 breaths, double the breath.
That's why people can like pass out underwater and get pulled up and get resuscitated.
Oh, that makes sense. Good to know. TIL.
Yeah, the body's still perfused. Once of that ends, though, then you start dying.
Nice. All right, I'm right back. Toilet.
Have fun.
Welcome back. I hope your beer summoning ritual was very successful.
I feel like we're missing something.
I mean, the DM.
Like from the room.
Ward.
And just the way he described it makes me think something there
Well,
is amiss.
yeah, it's the one, like, regular ass room we found in a dungeon. There's obviously something we missed, we just don't know what to look for.
I suppose we could take another look.
Although there's also a point of sometimes he does have things that don't have a purpose, as well as it could just be to set, like, not a scene, set, like, a personality, I suppose. Environmental storytelling, let's put it that way.
Okay, yeah.
Well, if one of the bosses uses a massive metal, I'm calling it now.
A massive metal?
Like, massive moving metal.
Magnetism!
Because the way he described it made me immediately think of, like, Cloud of Daggers.
The way he described it, it sounds like somebody grabbed someone in armor and just shoved them across a wall.
But then again, I don't know, like, the full backstory of the mansion and all that.
It's an estate, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to, we could just sort of hang back for a bit and try and look for some more stuff, but yeah. Because I've got quite a high perception, so I could attempt it, but alas.
I'm back.
What is up?
I realized my problem. I actually ate before popping on today because I woke up, so. Haha, my body's like, haha, why do you have content here, you fool?
See, that was your first mistake.
It was.
And it will be your final mistake.
Probably not. Now, the final mistake will be like something way more like ironic or something. I don't know what, but it just would be something ironic.
You trust your cat, and then he appears with a knife.
I appreciate that if he gets like more knives in this place. Anyways, though. Where were we? Yes, you guys were coming. Trap. You guys were entering into a hallway, which is entirely comprised of crystal. Crystal spikes, stalags, growths, etc. on the walls. Oh yeah, the corpse. Yeah, don't worry about that. That's what Noxalis is doing with right now.
Hope they're having fun.
Yeah, I have both paths right here. Anyways, I'll draw their path as you guys progress in your path. I'm not saying it's chronologically the same, because I'm pretty sure they would have to deal with the corpse all well before you guys even go to this room, but yeah. Timey-wimey, loosey-goosey, wibbly-wobbly, whatever. So, you guys enter into this room, which is entirely comprised of crystal. The ground is smooth, flat, marble-esque. You can even see your reflections in it. Actually, I could probably do like a really shy dive.
Just copy the token.
No. No. So, that's not straight, but don't at me.
You know there's like a polygon line tool, so you can just go boop boop and make a line?
Nah, fuck that.
Okay.
Takes a moment to set up. Yeah, so looks like a mouth when I think about it. Anything, Tango? I think it looks like a mouth. So it looks like that. And it does. The room does narrow to a 5-foot wide space, so only one person can pass through at a time. It is taper. Who goes first?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I figure. I'm just wondering if anyone else wants.
Why the fuck would any of us want to go first?
I don't know.
There's a reason we send Varric or Ward first, because they have help.
Oh, do they though? Do they? You just shot one of them, so. And also, Varric has had enough life-threatening situations today, considering how he had max health of 5 less than an hour ago. So, he probably isn't feeling up to snuff right now. Let that be known. 2, Marshall, make me a dexterity saving throw. Which I know you're just excellent.
Do I see these coming?
I feel like you have the intuition that this room is a trap, so yes.
Okay.
Thank God for that, huh?
Barbarian danger sense.
So, the scene I would give you guys imagery, if you guys have ever seen the Resident Evil movie, don't ever watch, it's actually not that, in my opinion. Most video game movies never live up to it. But yeah, so that's the laser weaponized room scene. NSFW warning, it's quite gory.
Yeah.
So yeah, but something similar to that happens as the crystals themselves begin emitting lasers, in a weird sense. Magical energy, you can call it. But nonetheless, something you are all quite confident in. I don't want to touch that. Now, Marshall, you do something different than the last lad here, is you go backward.
Nope.
Everyone points that out in that scene. Of like, the last guy alive is like, why didn't he just step backwards? But to be fair, high tense situation, so can't blame him. He's dead, but that's his own fault. But yeah. As the crystals in this room give a light show of their own, configuring themselves in a series of crisscrossing, polygon-forming grid work, and it's like watching a PowerPoint presentation of, except it goes really fast. So it's like animation, you know. Put a bunch of still scenes together, and you get an animation. It does something like that of making this grid work, and you jump backwards, not wanting to get caught in the wave of it. They're not like piano wire thin; they're substantially wide. They're like I want to say like as long as like wide as like oh, that's good. As wide as like a PHB. So these are like pretty hefty lines. They're like blocks more essentially than lines, but. Well, I guess if you look at it from one way, it's just a line, but the other way, it's not. Perspective. But, yeah. And, fuck it, why not? Well, fucking... Wait, I got something. But, yeah, you guys all see Marshall jump backwards, dodging this array of death laser lines projected by the multitude of crystals in this room. Actually, I shouldn't use this, should I? I was gonna put the Mission Impossible thing, but we're gonna get drunk. So maybe not put the Mission Impossible. That would be fine though, it would be perfect. So yeah, you guys see Marshall jump backwards. And Marshall, you're I don't know where Marshall's perspective on traps falls. I'm not sure if he sees them as cowardly or whatnot, but, think what you will. What do you guys do?
Look back to them. Well, how do we get through?
That's a good point. I don't think in the past campaign, Marshall was the one deciding how to deal with traps, and I think he just sort of ditched out to you guys, or he just walked through them.
How did he set off again? Was it just from him?
He just walked into the range of it.
Just walked into the range, okay.
If you kick a rock, she tried to kick the rock halfway down the hallway just to determine at what range it would trigger, or if it's smart enough to know what a rock is versus a person.
You kick a rock and nothing happens.
Shit.
I'm looking for music. That isn't the Mission Impossible theme. I was gonna look up trap music, and then I was like, that actually is a genre.
That's gonna bring
no.
Damn it.
You get a much different response.
That is, yeah.
I have all this fucking EDM fucking music. Yeah, this is trap music, yeah.
Do the crystals stay, or do they just shoot out?
They just shoot out. But the thing is, the entire hallway is made of crystal, so, it's a bit of a... it always goes in. It always goes through, because it's all there.
I feel like we would have an easier time trying to dig a tunnel around this thing than trying to figure out what the fuck.
I know.
Any attempts at getting Barrick to do it are met with purposeful ignorance.
Does it seem like the crystals like hold the energy, or they just like draw from something when they need it?
Roll me your Arcana.
She suggests this to one of the wizard people.
I
Because
guess I'll
I'm
do
not gonna
that.
fucking roll Arcana.
Well, then ask him magic-y questions.
Well,
You don't know.
Get through a thing.
I don't know.
You super don't.
Doesn't know. List of crits. List of crits. And this is now instead of combat. Hey, okay, this music works. We'll use this music. I hope it's not copyrighted. If so, we're fucked. But the chances of that are what? Slim. It's a 1 hour loop. The chance of that is slim.
How big is like the gap between the lasers in quotation mark?
Different every time.
Cool. How long is the path?
About 90 feet.
Does the ground seem to have any give to it? No, because it's like just really polished crystal.
I'm wondering if it's maybe pressure on the floor that's triggering
I
it,
was
maybe?
thinking that's why I was thinking that. Or it could be
Yeah.
like
Because if that's the case, I could just levitate it through.
I was thinking either like pressure, or it has like it just sees if there's a person in the reflection, because why else would it be like polished like that? We could try to just break up the flooring with Marshall's fists and see if that stops it from shooting lasers.
Yeah, but what's the chances of it skewering Marshall in the process, though?
Nah, he's fine. He has like 1 billion health.
Good to see you think of this as in-game terms. Yep, very nice.
Well, Sandra wasn't suggesting that. Garth was suggesting that. We could
Also, you guys shouldn't be using health as an expendable resource. You guys don't have any more hit die. Most of you. And I don't think you guys want to take a long rest down here.
Marshall, do you think you can manage to break up the floor?
Without getting skewered.
Try hitting the spot that doesn't activate the thing from...
Is it just the floor that's crystal, or is it literally...
No, the entire thing is crystal.
Everything.
It's just the floor is like a very smooth, flat crystal.
Refer to diagram.
And did we see that the beams came from there?
From the crystals, yeah. From the tips. Well, not just the tips, the edges, I would say. Yeah.
The pointy bits.
Tip. No, not just the pointy bits. Like, it comes from the edges.
Oh. So is it possible? Okay, so he wants to reach in and like grab one of the pointy parts of the crystal.
I would say make a dex saving throw.
Okay.
And you have a fresh hole in your hand that is also cauterized because lasers.
I'm just gonna make that the map there so I can. Awesome. Sweet. This would be. So you only went in like 1 foot, so. Hey, 11.
No. I may have missed. This is fine, but what I meant to say is like he grabs onto it without touching the ground.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, Sonya! And I can draw, so we've got like. Wait, that's wrong.
Okay.